Hello and welcome everyone, I'm Ari Lax, and tonight we're going to be taking a look at a new variant of one of the fresher decks that has popped up in Modern over the last few months. This is the Hollow One strategy. So, looking at Hollow One, the general idea is that you are trying to discard cards early to get free or cheap large creatures. So this started off with a SCG Open that a player named Julian Grace Martin finished in the top 32-ish of, playing a red-green list that featured a Temur Battle Rage Become Immense backup plan alongside Vengevines and Hollow Ones and Monastery Swift Spears and Hooting Mandrills. This has then kind of evolved, and the list that you see more now is black-red, and there's two split variants. So the list that I'm not playing is a Death Shadow variant with the Vengevine still. And this list is based around Flamewake Phoenix and Flameblade Adept, and it's kind of less likely to make something giant, but a little more resilient. You're not paying quite as much life at the start of games. Your creatures are recursive, which I think is a little more attractive to me in the strategy. Makes it a bit more analogous to Dredge, except for you don't have some of the Dredge issues that Dredge has, where you're just like, I didn't see this card in the top half of my deck or whatever. And it's a little faster than Dredge, though the Death Shadow build is definitely, like, solidly faster. So to walk through what's going on here, like I said, you're trying to get free or cheap stuff off of the discard. So filling your graveyard for Delve, 1 mana Gurmag Angler, discards for 1 or free Hollowed Ones, 1 or free mana Hollow Ones. Flamewake Phoenix as a recursive creature that comes back off of the back of these creatures, or a Flameblade Adept after a few discards. And then Bloodghast is another recursive creature that works off of discards. You've got some other discard interaction between Fiery Temper and Call to the Netherworld, but I like that this list is light on Fiery Temper because this card's just not inherently that good. And I don't really want to have extra mana up, honestly, when I'm doing discard spell stuff. So I think Lightning Bolt might just legit be better in the deck. And it's also light on Call, which the other lists are heavier. The like Vengevine, Death Shadow lists are heavier on. Both because you can discard it and rebuy Death Shadows with it to get your extra creature, but also because recurring Street Wraith is more important there. But I think that the recursive Street Wraith loops are kind of dangerous and let other decks just kind of find a hole through your defenses and kill you potentially. On the discard front, we are, these spells are like the basics are just Burning Inquiry and Faithless Looting. But this deck's lighter on Cathartic Reunion. It's actually a little slow. And also kind of a liability if you don't get to draw the cards sometimes. And then the reason that this specific list that recently went 6-1 in a Magic Online Modern Challenge, this list specifically caught my eye was Edge of Autumn. When I've seen this deck operate, it's really good at just like firing off the first wave of creatures, but I can't imagine how it would ever rebuild besides just like accidentally drawing some more cards as the game goes on. So I'm fine expending more resources early to potentially get a faster Gurmag Angler, and have more cards that reliably give you a specific discard. So Edge of Autumn was really interesting to me. So the main deck's pretty straightforward. You just like discard some cards and play cheap cards. And the sideboard, there's actually a lot of cool interaction you can put in your deck. Like Collective Brutality is just a good card that works on all the axes of your deck. You just get to discard a bunch of cards. You disrupt your opponents in a bunch of ways. You're leaning on this over Thoughtseize because it's directly synergistic and cohesive with the rest of your deck. You have Lightning Axe, which is a pretty good removal spell. And then for the like Death Shadow 6/6 size things that Lightning Axe isn't going to handle, you have Big Game Hunter, which can upgrade potentially some of your less great removal in spots where you need to kill, like I said, Death Shadows or Tarmogoyfs. You have Ancient Grudges from Lantern and Engineered Explosives, which I'm actually just going to take out because I just despise this card completely. I'm just going to add another Ancient Grudge because I want nothing to do with losing to the Ancient Grudgeable decks. I think Engineered Explosives is one of the most currently overrated cards in all of Modern, outside of like blue-white shells. And the reason for that would be it's just so expensive to do what you want it to do. Like blue-white shells is going to do something very specific. Like you need a card that like does like 8 million things, and also your deck's planning on getting to a bunch of mana. It's like whatever, that's fine. But like Death Shadow, I don't want to put that card in my deck. It just costs like, it's like, oh, I want to kill all your 2-drops. That's 4 mana. Do you know how much 4 mana is? That's like 2 turns on a good day. Like, that's just not something that I can rely on happening. And I don't see this deck being in any spot where it's similar. Especially because, like, the card I'd want to engineer explosives the most is like, I don't know, affinity stuff that I can ancient grudge, or like lantern stuff. Just not where I want to be. And then ley lines because good luck, have fun, dredge. Yeah. So I'm excited to throw some cards at some people or my graveyard, and to play the Burning Inquiry spin the wheel game, because it's really what you're here for. Discard 3 at random is a interesting effect. I do appreciate the fact that Magic Online kind of hides it from you. I really dislike people who like draw their 3 Burning Inquiry cards in real life and then look at them and then shuffle their hand. It's like, no. Just see what happens after the fact.